Hello, 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 and welcome to Three Amigos Ink and Splatter Virtual Open Mic Poetry Night. We are your hosts, Marie Moldovan, Alicia Hodge, and Joe Mycott. We thank everyone for tuning in and hope you enjoy the poetic festivities. We have poets joining us from all over the globe and are looking forward to hearing all of their masterful collections. This episode is dedicated to living life to its fullest. And we look forward to hearing the beautiful pieces coming up. And we thank you for tuning in.
And up first tonight on the roster, we are back with Max Myers. He is a Sacramento, California resident for some years, inspired to write by a world of natural beauty, loving friendships, and the magical and mystical spiritual relationship between all things. Max has been writing poetry and short essays for the last 60 years. A self taught poet, writer, he's an artist, musician, beekeeper who has traveled around this beautiful country, seeing this profoundly impressive and magical sights and spending time meeting the wonderful people who make up the color and flavor of America. There's so much to observe and document, and as Walt Whitman said, one discovers the song of thyself. Max has self published several books, which are now available on Amazon Books or just Google Max Myers Books. Hello, Max.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm doing wonderful. I've had a wonderful day out and about, swimming under the waterfalls and going hiking with my little nieces and nephews. And it's been a wonderful day.
Oh, good.
Absolutely. Well, um, tell us about yourself and jump right into it. However you'd like to do it. You are
All right.
the mystical master, Max Myers himself.
I'm going to be reading poems out of a book called All Moments Are Grace.
Is that one of your books?
That's one of my books. Yeah.
Awesome.
Recent publication. It's actually a collection of all my poetry. So
Okay.
it spans quite a long time. So I have a few poems to read there. I'll try and you guys stop me if I'm talking too much or too long.
No, you go right ahead, and I won't interrupt in between poems, so you can keep your flow going.
Okay.
All right.
The first poem is it's a short poem. I was sitting in the yard one time late in the afternoon, and that's where this poem came from. It's called Late Afternoon. In the still of late afternoon, only honeybee wings stir the air. That's it for that poem. Rather lengthy. This next one is called Wonderland. As I gaze upon this wonderland, I understand that I do not know much. That such a place as this can be is more than I can possibly fathom. Just to be alive, to breathe deeply, the scented air about me amazes me. The exchange of a glance astounds my senses. I am bent down with gratitude. My heart swelling with love speaks, with tears of empathy for the struggling, as well as for the life celebrating itself. For joy, for sorrows, for restless beauty. In all of this, I see the miraculous, the divine incomprehensible, the glory of this wonderland. Next one kind of takes a different tone. My moods are pretty steady, but sometimes my thoughts rush, and that's this poem is kind of a rush of feeling poem. It's called Many. True, I have played many parts. Broken hearts stood alone. loved and lost, found a reason, cursed winter, nearly won, smiled at the moment, teared up, tore down in anger, planted flowers, wondered, wondered, oh so wondered, at times still, quiet, reflective, broken, arrived, lonely, not bored, forsaken, richly happy, fulfilled, friendly, and joyous, human in all ways, fragile, solid, shaken, faithful, forgetful, muse and chuckle, hungry for lunch, for touch, distant, lunar, laughing from the belly, tears of joy, rigid, corruptible, open, embracing, compassionate, conditional, unclear, born not as one, but as many, born not as one, but as many, so very many. The next poem actually is lyrics to a song. I thought about singing it, but I'm too embarrassed to sing it, so I'll read it to you. It's called Not a Whisper. No longer center of the universe, no possessor of the great lip. Everywhere I see mirrors reflecting in. Lips are moving, but I hear nothing. I hear nothing. No, not a whisper. Everywhere I see mirrors reflecting in. Assembled masses, cloaks and daggers, gleam and chisel in the night. Rutted roads that lead to bridges, bridges silent, lacking sighs. Lips are moving, but I hear nothing. I hear nothing. No, not a whisper. Everywhere I see mirrors reflecting in. Okay. Um, this next one is called Lucia. It's a place down the Pacific coast, south of Monterey or Carmel, south of Big Sur. Lucia, in my youth, down the Big Sur coast I went, like many before me, searching for meaning. Evenings at the cliffside hot springs, Essalon deep with conversation, alive with speculation. And further south to Lucia, a stone house overlooking the sea, nestled in the purple sage, like those who came to heal, to find answers to unknown questions. It too was incomplete. Perhaps that was in fact enough, a resting place along the way, a gemstone hidden in the foggy mist. When I was young, I did a lot of work. This valley that extends from Northern California here all the way down to LA produces a massive amount of produce, and I worked all different kinds of forms of in the produce, but the most memorable and fun for me was working in the sheds where the trucks would bring produce in boxed up, and we would load it onto box cars. And it was we worked as a team, two of us in a box car. And, I don't know, they'd hold like, I don't even remember how many boxes, but we do that all day long. And rest in between the trucks coming in, sometimes it'd be a break. There was a guy, and this guy's job was to take huge blocks of ice, shove them down a chute and turn them into snow, and then When we finished loading these boxcars, he would go in with a big hose and blow a snow cover across the top of all the boxes to keep them fresh for their trip back to Detroit or New York, wherever the market was. This man we called the Iceman. The boxcar had been iced. Another was arriving soon. The wait was poignant. Sitting alone on a bench in the dusty shed, his cigarette smoke climbed into the stillness. He stared into nothingness, bent over. 6 cars today, then tomorrow perhaps a few more. The Iceman in his sturdy black rubber apron, tall and slender, aging, quiet, pushing the blocks of ice into the chute, then blowing the shredded snow methodically, evenly, intentionally over the loaded produce. Autumn was soon coming. The season was about to end. These loading docks would soon be silent and the Iceman gone, to await the winter harvest. A month, maybe 2. The Iceman will return, and on it goes. The next one is, this is another sort of fast-moving one, mentally fast-moving. I don't read fast, but fast-moving mentally. It's called It Is So. I open my eyes, and before me all manner of natural and unnatural matter. I see trees, buildings where once trees stood, roads, gutters flowing with rainwater, trash washed along, flowers abloom in the yard, and junk just piled up. Stoplights, walk lights, fast or slow cars, footpaths, sleeping, angry, jovial, wakeful, bully drivers, meadows beneath the hillside, animals grazing, dead skunk, deer fox on the roadsides, telephone poles, power poles, wires follow man. Between the eyes and the sky, buffering the beauty. The homeless and the affluent pass without sight. Waitresses serving the grateful and ungrateful alike. Nurses, doctors, aides, serving, glad in heart. Dark addictions miss starry night's harmony. While the thirsty walk parched for love's caress. And the loved walking in the light, children giggle, as time both races and crawls before mankind, aimed and aimless, pass internally whispering deny. Open eyes, see the many faces of life as one, every speck of eternal dust, every speck or so, all of this is so, before God it is so. Streams of sunlight dance through the clouds solemn as winter grip, flexing wind, flexing rain, snow. Branches lie akimbo in the neighborhoods on the roads after. In awe, children play in the brisk announcement. Spring is in the nearness, calling, calling, it is so. It is the breath of God upon all that is God. Celestial, pulsating voice of God through the grasses, gray and broken remnants of summer past, strong and protecting the new green promise as it emerges across the face of the land. This is not the first winter's closure shown, yet this is this one now at hand, in the moment, without resistance, revealing new and new and new. My heart is full, enriched by such beauty. In love, it is so, so much in love, it is so. I have just one more, and that'll do it for me. As a beekeeper, periodically you have to deal with disappointment. Things happen. Sometimes a queen is defective and she can't lay enough eggs to keep the colony going. And this poem is called "A Dying Colony." I came to your door and knocked gently, not hearing a whoosh or seeing a soul. My heart dropped suddenly, for I knew this omen. With reluctance, I opened your home. There before me were a slight few, the frantic queen, and perhaps 6 or 7, who despairingly tried to attend. Their voice was mournfully sad, for they had no hope of survival. As I watched the queen took to the sky, I stood dismayed and heartsick. A dying colony is such a lonely place. And that's it for me, folks.
Well, thank you very much, Max. Great work. That was such an interesting story about the snowmaker, and such a touching piece to finalize with the bees. So thank you so much again for sharing your work with us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
That was amazing as usual, Max. Thank you. Next up, we have Stuart Irving Marshall. And Stuart is a compulsive Madden and Minecraft game master and connoisseur of all things cheesy, crunchy, and tasty, who also happens to be a pretty good poet and writer. Raised in Brooklyn, he grew to the great height of about 5'6" while living in Virginia and began writing suddenly out of the blue at the ripe old age of 40. Thank God he was getting really bored. It's good to have you back, Stuart. How are you?
I'm good. I'm getting a lot of there's a lot of mic distortion somewhere, like wind blowing
Yeah,
or mic. But
the wind's blowing here and I have my volume all the way down, but it still could be echoey. So I'm just going to let you take it away.
I just hope I'm clear. Okay, I'll have maybe 3. They're kind of long, but one is the one I wrote on. I posted earlier the other day. First poem I'll be reading is called Praying Vulture. Distraught, evil, unclean carcass, I'll just close my eyes before the task at hand. From the disgusting, rotting, disease-infested meal I must consume or die. But what's the point when all around me is unfair, unequal, unsustainable, unchanging, unfathomable, unreasonable, boring, unruly, inflexible, stubborn, ugly, fake in beautification, too accepting, too tolerant, too violent, too mealy-mouthed and weak. We cannot evolve from fists to sticks to sword to lead to bomb to cancel culture to whatever's next without a break, without a scar, without a reputation ruin, a scorn, criticism, outright denigration of character, libelous, slanderous libel and slander without the preying vulture, dying, mostly dead, its face bloodied by the pounding of facetious fists, fantastic felonies, facts and lies, falsehoods, blames, guilt, shames, more shame, confusion, and utter depressive mental anguish, angst and mind soul-bending destruction bordering on the insanity accepted for the only option left. And the left warriors with swords of interchangeable meanings, twisted biological concepts, cultural and historic swords of blinding sharpness, at the ready to slice us into innumerable genders, sexes, races, faces of innumerable colors, shades, tints, hues, half shades, half hues, along with petrified, flaming pitchforks of immoral fires of nice and fair and equal and same and no choice and different rules and laws to guilt and shame and bigger sticks and rocks and hypocrisies and memories of Vaseline skin glinting in the heat of the southern plantation sun, the dejangled jungle sea sickened on ships at sea, the the angle the angle in past where kings subjected their kingdoms to similar inequalities of what the future holds, willing to sell their men, women, child, families for hope, for a buck, hope and future, hope and existence instead of the eventuality of death, starvation of a nation, a continent of future Bozemans and Washingtons and Winfreys and Washington Carvers and Crispus Attucks and Little Kings and BBs and CCs and Obamas. The vulture flies, half dead on its way to dead, on its way to the dread of Western hope. For the past is attached to its wing, hiding among its feathers, hoping not to be discovered and being reminded of itself. Next poem is called Maybes. Don't want y'all to get all uppity and pissed. I'm black and this ain't no way racist. It's called Maybes. Maybe it just ain't been enough time gone by. Maybe I just need more tears to cry. Maybe I need to just stop wallowing in my self-pity instead of just thinking about one time that was shitty. We ain't had no city, just dirt road, trees, dirt, lions, tigers, and bears. Weren't no bear, just had to bring up Oz. Weren't no Dorothy there. Just poor us, not knowing nothing how to speak, laugh, or joke. 400 years later, some of us talking about woke. Woke? I ain't sleep. Nobody else either. You just being a creep. Pointing at these folk like they best get off the bus. Making them feel bad cause they don't look like us. What the hell they supposed to look like? They ain't been where we from. If they was, they'd be slaves like we was. And what they supposed to have done? Leave us there to die? Best be working somewhere and get it straight later on in the by and by. Instead of dissing your blessing you've been getting till now. Y'all killing your babies instead of showing them how to live like kings like we done been in the past. Instead of them lips putting what they done on blast. Like I said, it's better be alive than dead. You can only push your daisies, but not one bit of street cred. So don't cry your tears, cause you weren't even there. They didn't have no iPhone, didn't even wear no underwear. Didn't know no English. You couldn't understand them anyhow. So stop trying to be equal to someone you ain't. Just be yourself. It took you 400 years to be free. See me. See me. See me for who I am. I am destruction. I am chaos. I am your worst fears. I am emptiness. The knock at your door in the middle of the night. I am the broken frame. Can you see me now? I am the smoky air. I am the deep darkness that creeps in your sleep. I am the bits and pieces that flow. What you breathe, keep as a souvenir. I am the future fear unrealized, the last scream heard, the dark bird at your windowsill. I am the spill of life, constant and unchanging, the cell in your body rearranging. I am the same song sung without a pause. I am the effect that's met its cause, precious once, but now because lying in state for all to see, not you but me, for all to see, weeping, for theirs is nothing else but to begin again as someone else, the same. Gently, gently. I take your hand as the
You
world
still
falls.
there, Stuart?
Yes, gently, gently. I take your hand, and as the world falls away, I save your day with the sunshine, rising new, glaring at us as I rise once more to your smile, blinking the clouds dark away, the white puffs of paradise, lies made true, doubt again, shifting in its place, making a much clearer space full of stars in your eyes as I rise again, again to your smile, the day coming and going, come and done and come once more to a place where dreams appear at will, ours and always ours together. Sunshine, moonbeams alternate as your hand takes mine and we fall away, saving all that's in our way to play and play another day. Rising new, rising true, white distant clouds, returning share their teary rains of joy, lies made few, doubts refrain, giving way to a brighter day as I take your hand as the world turns and falls gently, gently away.
Beautiful, Stuart.
I'm trying to find something. This is a short one. It's very short, actually. Probably one of my shortest poems I've ever written. It's called Just the Sky Blue of Your Eyes. Beauty is a small town, unaffected by technology, sophistication, anthropology. No bones or faces aged, history of past wars waged. Just the sky blue of your eyes, your lips of red rose, baby breath's hair, the rare glimpse of a beautiful smile. Love among the ruins. I fell shattered into pieces upon the rocks. She was there to pick me up, to dress my wound. That was my life. It seemed to stand for centuries as a Stonehenge overlooking the tossed and troubled seas of my soul. It drifted like the sea's weed, tangled and tangled with broken limbs and ancient pillars, long forgotten in its history, no longer stirring textured thought in the minds of learned men. I was a lonely man, a Roman and roaming the empty collegiums and coliseums, where the gladiators fought, died for honor and glory, a story that bought a page or two from the hand of the master teller. I fell again, yet again, dizzy from the heights of depression. No love to lessen the pain of loneliness, the anger of lost consideration. But she was still there, still, in her dress, her smile to raise me from my pit, to sit alongside, to speak of such things as love. We, among the ruins of a forgotten age, a page turned after so many, a year fearing no change to rearrange my plight. I see now that reality has eluded me, that which has come true before my very eyes and heart. And I'm glad but sad that it was but a dream that goes on forever. Alone with my passion. How can I live without love? Why must I suffer to reach this place? Why must I be made to exist? Skin, flesh, blood, bone, alone, with my passion as a fashion to be hung to dry after a drench of sweat and blood? No. How can I live without love? Why must I suffer torture upon this place? Every face beyond my willing face, every lip beyond my lip to kiss, as a weight stretched beyond its will to break, the strands ready to surrender at once. No. How can I live this agony, survive, then survive the next living for each moment alone? You think? He thinks he has taken my words, but I have taken his, ripped it from his heart, mine to begin with, to do with as I please. Your words were just a tease, a bitter scent in the sweet breeze of his gift to me, ultimate originality. You think you have taken my soul, but I have taken yours, torn from your very being, mine to begin with, not out of hate or vengeance, but out of love and forgiveness. Do I disprove thee? The jealousy raging within you deep, even in the sleep, after you've awakened forsaken by others who also suffer your fate. You think you have stolen my love, but I keep that which is mine, never to be raped from my mortal flesh, my immortal spirit. One cannot dream to sear it, loosen it from my sacred spot, blessed by its musings. Abusings are forever useless and futile. Style and grace will not hide your face from the sins of your betrayal. You think you have stolen my words? I laugh at these cowardly thoughts, these misfirings of logic and evil assumptions, for my words have never left my side. They reside in me, bathed me in the juices of their fruit, and it is fruitless to claim, more so to deny. Cry as you will for what you cannot possess, caress as the down of a pillow at night, each tear burning deep, never to be consoled. A special place. They have a special place for you all who would do such things as create chaos, slavery, death of soul, death of spirit, confusion and doubt, lies and vainations, derivations, permutations, and pursuits of evil ways, setting one up to fail, wail as the wicked, hell bent on splitting flesh and bone, mind and marrow marks that can never be erased, maced away, chased away with the new, but always past due excuses to excuse a cause to react, a reason to deny, to kill, then revive, to maim and kill again, to reanimate like the monster with the parts from the departed and broken-hearted, an experiment to poke and prod in the petri dish like a pre-embryonic fish, waiting for the scars to show, the long teeth, the jaws that pause only to search for a better spot, a reason to destroy, divide, and conquer. They have a special place for you. You all for one and one, all. It's just a job, a check, and a smile while the smoke continues to rise, and the veins clog, and the eyes dim, and the legs weaken to dystrophy. The fee not large enough to never enough to feed the need of uncare, the no look despair on faces like the credit card, priceless like the table dice, for they have already been thrown and still come up loss, and cross and book with the answers and more questions and more anger and rage and hidden beneath the rising smoke that clouds with no rain, no refrain without a pause. The motive cause, a mystery, an unknown quantity, but green and welcome and paying the bills, boxes of pills and secondhand smoke machines that are worthless. The heart you bear without love. There is a special spot for you where the sun is just a memory, the darkness covering not to warm, but to chill with the heat of vengeance, not for the uncared for, but from the one who cares for, not like you, of course, but for the entire course, all 18, all 4 quarters, all 2 periods, with timeouts and restarts and love, not hate. There is a special place for you, all and you on the beat, on the bench, out of the game, unpaid, frayed, withered, and mislaid. Changes that can't be adjusted to blue skies, continuously dark with cloud. Loud voices, louder to pay on time, pay not enough, pay. You're not serious, are you? Pay. You've got to be joking, and you won't have enough, not nearly enough, and you'll get sent to that special place, that space all your own to cower, to beg, to tremble, to starve, to wither, to die in that special place.
Well, thank you very much, Stuart. That was absolutely amazing, amazing
Thank you.
poetry, and I really appreciate you coming on this evening. And wow, the emotions that came up for me with everything that you said, very powerful, very strong.
Thank
Um,
you.
I hope to hear more. Of course, we'll have many, many more podcasts coming up. So you're welcome to come as a guest. And I really, truly appreciate you coming on from
Thank
this
you
point.
very much. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Um, so thank you very much. And I'm just going to introduce the next reader, Shelley Rice.
Hello.
Hello, Shelley. Shelley is a self proclaimed punk poet, also known as the Dark Queen. She has captured the audience of many with twisted tales woven in the form of poetry. Her ability to bring darkness to light is remarkable. I absolutely love her poetry. However, she has the ability to write of love in such a way you feel every word. And that is absolutely true. I would agree with that. She's a versatile poet who pushes herself to progress. Within her stanzas, she will take you on a journey into parts of your mind you didn't even know existed. She's been writing for nearly 4 years, and it seems like you've been writing forever, Shelley. I mean, everybody on here is amazing, and you say that you've only been writing for 4 years, but I don't know. I think that's a little bit of a tale in itself because your ink incredible. She is hardworking, dedicated to her craft, uniquely has many variations in her poetry, and her first book of poetry is The Prisoner of Poetry. Now, if you haven't gotten a copy of that, please do. Is in production now. Oh, wait, sorry, it's in production now. So when it comes out, make sure you get a copy. And she hopes to be released in early fall. I'm actually looking forward to that. Should have probably skipped ahead in the line and read it, but I'll just throw the floor to you, Shelley, and I'm glad to have you on this evening. Can you hear me, Shelley? Hello?
Hello.
Did we have? Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
The floor is now yours, my friend.
all right. Well, let me know if you can hear me because I was trying to look at my document there. Can you still hear me? All right.
I can hear you.
Okay. I'm going to read what I wrote the other day. It's called Orion is Calling. What hides in shadows I can't see. Have they come to set this mind free? I'm tired of chasing the evening shade. What I wanted was breathing to fade. My tombstone reads, a wasted life. She survived by the edge of the knife. My blushing grave pushing dead bouquets, while memories set on infinite replay. My lips cracked from kissing sidewalks. Do not cross outlines of dead chalk. Promised a shitload, expected nothing. Need to feel something. I kept cutting. I say fuck this lifelong ride and its horse. Me and my misery are filing for a divorce. The question rises, do I want more? Sick of being stuck in a revolving door.
It seems, Shelley, I can't hear you. Last word I heard was stuck in a revolving door.
I don't know. It keeps dropping me tonight for some reason. Maybe it's because I have headphones on. I don't know. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. Um,
Hmm.
so stop that
Okay.
revolving door. Sorry about
Okay.
that.
Thank you. That's all right. Um, Life is a piss hole that stinks of vinegar. My decayed and rotting soul left to linger. Please rub my nose in some more shit. It's high time burning daylights get hit. Orion calling me with his sweet lullaby. The sweet kiss of death was not a lie. Now I will dream of what could have been. Maybe in the next game of life I will win. Can you still hear me, Marie? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, well, I'm not getting any there's a delay, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, sometimes that happens. It depends on
Okay.
the Wi-Fi in your location, and I know that there's a lot of things going on around um like that are affecting some of the signals. So yeah, there will be a
Okay.
little bit of you might have a little bit of reverb. I think it's like 3 or 10 seconds, but I can hear you.
Okay.
I'll let you know if I
Um yeah, please.
have
All
some.
right. I have the next one is Mystery Man. Mystery Man, your mind so inviting. I know the struggles you're fighting. Gentle giant gifted with many talents. Your mind focused and in true balance. Paint right and play hard music or music hard and lightly. Your passion to fervor flames brightly. Your hero tendencies more.
Seems like we're having a moment of technical difficulties. Shelley was momentarily booted out of the studio. I think she probably dropped her band. She would have been dropped, but we'll just give her a moment to pop back in. Um, And so we'll move forward to Alicia, if Alicia is ready, and then when Shelly pops back in, we'll just put her back up on screen, so she can finish her absolutely amazing poetry. Alicia is a published poet, artist, and mother from the state of Oregon in the US, and she loves nature, animals, music, poetry, and art of all forms. Alicia, um, I'm looking forward to reading your amazing poetry, and I'm kind of putting you on the spot right now because I hope you're ready.
All right. So I think I'll read one, excuse me, called The Wheel. We spent the ages working away, leaving a trail to find each new day, dreaming and weaving a pattern throughout time, the fate of which for time to unwind. We spent the ages working away, each new lifetime a brand new karmic day, climbing the ladder, illusions to shatter, a journey to follow to pass a test, this lifetime watch it manifest. And, oh, hold on just a moment. My daughter is stepping in.
That's perfectly fine. I'll just plop Shelly back on screen because she's now back on. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect. Thank you for stepping in.
Realized that I dropped.
That's all right. That's perfectly all right. Alicia was kind enough to fill the space for the moment so that we have time for you to pop back on. And so once again, we're back to Shelley Rice, an amazing poet. Thank you.
I don't know where I dropped off on that poem, so I
start from the beginning if you don't mind.
Okay, let me find it again. I don't know if it's because I'm using my Google Docs or what, why it's doing this. I'm new at this, remember? It's Mystery Man. Mystery Man, your mind so inviting. I know the struggles you're fighting. Gentle giant gifted with many talents. Your mind focused and in true balance. Paint, write, and play, music hard and lightly. Your passion to fervor flames brightly. Your hero tendencies more than valor. Attracted to your almost famous glamour. Meaningful discussions dig me deeply. Our paths were hard and paved steeply. How could these childhoods mirror? Can words become any clearer? Our poetry creates stories that cure.
Hello, Shelley. It looks like you dropped again. It may be because you are reading from Google Docs, which is, requires some bandwidth, basically takes up some Wi-Fi. Can you hear me, Shelley?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I think maybe that might be the problem. So, can you hear me now?
I can. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hang on just a second. I will just read it from somewhere else. All right. That one I haven't actually even posted yet, so I'll just have to go to something else that I had picked out. All right.
That's all right. We have time.
All right. This one's called "Came to Blame." 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock rock. Death is coming. Can you hear his knock? He's approaching you from every side. There is nowhere that you can hide. He needs your breath to feel his lungs. Death will creep until you are hung. You are burning inside from all the pain, caught in the eye of a roaring hurricane. Exercise your hollow soul for possession. He's darker than any bouts of depression. Your bones rattling like a diamond head. His scarlet eyes won't have tears to shed. Running from the knife slicing through air. He has something special he'd like to share.
Well, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I think once again your mic or something has kicked out.
Can hear you. Dang it.
Can hear me.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
Okay. Let me try something else here. Maybe this will work. I don't know. Where should I pick up on that poem again? on the one I was just reading. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I forgot the last line. I just had it in my mind.
Okay. Let's see here. Let me find it. What was the where should I start?
Mm, I can't remember the last line.
Well, I just hate to make everybody listen again, but I can just start at the beginning on it again if that's okay. Because
That's
I
just
have,
fine.
okay.
That's fine.
All right, came to blame. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock rock. Death is coming. Can you hear his knock? He's approaching you from every side. There is nowhere that you can hide. He needs your breath to fill his lungs. Death will creep until you are hung. You are burning inside from all the pain, caught in the eye of a roaring hurricane. Exercise your hollow soul for possession. He's darker than any bouts of depression. Your bones rattling like a diamond head. His scarlet eyes won't have tears to shed. Running from the knife, slicing through air, he has something special he'd like to share. His bony fingers crush your weak throat while ominously chanting biblical quotes. Resistance crumbling at your spiked feet. Your thundering heart is skipping a beat. You tried to scream, but only got silence, assassinating you with brutal violence. A stinging kiss, fatal, falling upon your lips. You feel your life as it now gradually slips. Bet you wish you had prayed a lot more. Revenge sent death to bury in your core. There is no harp and gilded angels singing, just your lifeless body that's left swinging. At your funeral, where no one even came, and you only have yourself to blame. Sorry about that. Hello?
That was beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Um, I think maybe it's just bandwidth or something like that. I don't know why it's dropping like that. And I don't
Well,
really know how. I'm sorry, go ahead.
sometimes if you're reading from another site, like a Facebook site or something like that, and you don't have a lot of bandwidth, or sometimes during peak hours, you have a lot of people sharing these time stream, like you have a lot of people on the network, so it like slows down. So even if you have like high speed, it's not quite high speed when everybody's on the network. And other times it's like I said, when if you go into if you're on another site that
Hmm.
requires internet for you to look it up, then yeah, it might kick you out.
Well, that's why I didn't think. That's why I thought the Google Docs would work okay because everything that I do in Google Docs is available offline. So I'm not really sure.
Right.
Uh,
See, sometimes that, yeah, it works for me as well, but maybe a next time, do you have the option to screenshot and like look through the gallery, or
yeah, I'll try that.
write it out? Yeah. I mean, it's more complicated to write it out than
Well,
it is.
I've been writing most of my stuff out late as of late. So the next one I'm going to write or read is Sublime Rhyme.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
I untangle the words woven in my mind, carefully placed in poetic verse lines. My stanzas arrive in symmetrical Morse code. It's therapy when I'm in self-destruct mode. Poetically thinking, I'm a raging hurricane. Poems always clotting inside my brain. Sometimes it feels like I am going insane. Do I try to stop this loaded freight train? Speeding through space of lagging time. Every last thought I've chiseled to refine. I construct light into the darkest beauty. To inspire others, is that my call of duty? Dead bouquets to bloom in the beholder. That's what drives my passion to smolder. My final breath on pages to become alive. Behind my stanzas is where I like to hide. With each and every word pressed from my lips, another tick of the old secondhand slips. How long will my lifetime of work breathe? Exactly how much more can I still bleed? On a daily, I slaughter paper with rhyme. Killing trees is my only true crime. Poetry thrives in this broken heart of mine. Will I finally achieve my own sublime rhyme?
Ooh. Will you finally achieve your own sublime rhyme?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know where it's. Boy, I just don't know how to do this small talk thing. I can do the reading okay, but I just can't Here's this small talk thing. I don't know why. I don't
That's
know what
okay.
to.
That's okay. I'll just leave you the floor. I just wanted to pop in to make sure you knew that you were still being heard.
Thank you. Yeah, it helps when you kind of keep me on the down low on that because I don't know when I drop off.
You're doing wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you. I'm going to try to find something else here that I have available offline that I can read. Give me just a second. Okay, because I had everything pulled up in Google and now that's gone. So let's see here. Okay, I guess I'll just read the one I just wrote the other day called Mad Deduction. Bliss to scar my brain with a heavy presence, and sanity desires to win my mind's perseverance. I feel the pound of a carpenter's hammer. My voice doesn't whisper, stutter, or stammer. I want to fight to revise my brain's disability. False diagnosis, its cluttered truth, a biting reality. Dang it. Nothing curbs hunger, feast on a thought banquet. Insanity gives a life sentence. I fight and never quit. Just because it's a battle and I trust my gut's insides, I plunge 40 leagues depth to find out what hides. Blabbering idiots rush to make their decisions. Created velvet minds, vibrant color visions. Speed of light blazes brief, yet so quick. That would make simple minds have to admit. Strong breeds to quiet chaos of mercury. Connect the impulses to pollinate the energy. Who stands by to watch steady minds unravel? Place deep thoughts in the mind's dark shadows. It will prevent madness and lunatics in vain ranting. A soft, hushed breath, a vein's shallow beating. We can't begin to understand mind's terrors. Relax nerves so light pulses, steady tremors. Test the devised layers of genius and brilliance. The starving intellect loves to devour substance. My mind guide rippling waves of the current. Fire neurons so insanity is served a warrant. Erase deception of fables and delusional fear. Recall the deduction of madness disappear. And I haven't really read that one much, so I did kind of stammer on that one.
And I didn't even notice. It was beautiful.
Thank you. Um, you just have to. I don't. If you want me to read more, I can. Or I don't know what. I don't know how long it's been.
You've still got a little bit more time, and I think that
Okay.
because a couple of your poems got cut short in the middle, I'm going to give you a little more
Okay.
leeway if you didn't anyways. So you've got time.
Okay. All right. Give me just a minute here or a second here, and I'll gather something else here. Uh, boy, do you guys like? Do you play the show? Like, can you watch the show again later or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Everything is recorded, so it's streamed live, and then it's like on YouTube. Twitch is the only place that it does that. I don't upload a video later, but on YouTube there is, and on Facebook. But so yes, the
Okay.
recording is available later for watching.
Okay. All right. I don't think I've read this one before. I hope not. It's called Take the Helm. I stopped to look them in their eyes, pulled my head from the above skies, but it's easier to daydream than to face the demons that squatted in my space. Look here, I say, please make some room. How many layers do you now consume? I'm taking a stand and I demand some rent. You've been here a lifetime without 1 cent. This is my abode to format my thoughts, as well these ever-recurring suicide plots. It pisses me off when you're wont to control. Technically speaking, it is my raging soul. I've had enough of your fingers probing. My anti-social media isn't up for trolling. Fuck you from the depths of my stone heart. I cannot be added to your shopping cart. I have a beautiful mind shaded in ebony. I scream no more to your inflicted agony. I have a dream that cannot be silenced. Above you, the queen who rules biased. My ears no longer ring of bitching voices. I gag the background in white noises. I wear armor made of reflecting mirrors. No more blood sucking by you chiggers. I rid myself of every last of my demons. I plant my words to bouquet all seasons, vines strangle demon seeds breathing, sending a spike to my vessel's beating. I command you to dig a 6 foot deep grave, my old life for my new life's what I trade. From now on, I'm the captain of this ship. There are no more tears my eyes can slip. Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you. That was great.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Um, let me see if I can just grab one more here, and then I'll let you go. Carry on. I don't know. Oh my God.
Oh, you're doing wonderful, and I really love that last one, especially everything about you. You described the rebirth and everything. It is very powerful, and if I just wanted to put in there, I hope I'm not bothering you by interrupting.
Oh, not
Um,
at all. It
this
helped
week's
me because
this week's energy really, really seems to be like actually the energy that has been in play for the past few months or so really, really is about rebirth and pressing forward, even when we feel uncomfortable, just walking forward and allowing ourselves to experience those things and giving ourselves the gift of the experience.
well, we are in like Uranus retrograde, which or we're going. I think we entered it on like the 19, which means like rebirth and freedom and stuff. So
And usually when that comes into play, it comes into play even before because we, if we're an empath, feel the energy much before. So we start working through it. And then when it comes into full force, it's like we're pushing forward the energy. And as we're working through the energy, we're transmuting it and basically working with it. And then and it seems to get the stronger and stronger at the point, and then a few weeks, sometimes a little bit longer after, we're still working through it because you have the push forward, you have the period in which it's in play, and then of course you have the rippling effect afterwards. um,
yeah.
so yeah, just
Okay.
thank you.
All right. I'll end with this one. It's called Mother Country. Twas the Emerald City who winked. Eyes of the sky twinkled as they blinked. The flowing meadows green with envy. But my motherland gives me ever plenty. Billowing wind speaking into the glade. With my potato harvest, bills will get paid. I love my wife's Celtic tunes she does sing, echoing the hollow the church bells ring. At the end of all rainbows, the pot of gold, my sweet Erie has my heart in her hold. From the olden days, St. Patrick did bless. He sent away serpents without a hiss. Gaelic women tongues wag gossip heard. Ovens with shepherd pies, hunger's cured. Our flag waves proud, orange, white, and green. Lovely bonny lasses from thee dreams. We will not take being slaves to the high. God protects us from his home over nigh. Upon the English backs we drive in reason. This is the beginning of the IRA season. I know it sounds barbaric, we must fight. From the dawn of day until dusky twilight. Four-leaf clover is the sign of good luck. Oh, the stars made this old man awestruck. I love these lands beneath my very feet. She is who gives my heart its every beat. I say I love you, lady, until my final breath. My soul forever safe from the threat of death. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was amazing. I really
Thank you.
and I hope that you join us once again sometime down the road.
Oh,
um,
yeah, I'd love to.
thank
Thank you.
um, have a nice evening, Shelley.
You have a great evening, Marie, and thank you for inviting me.
No problem. Bye bye.
All right. Bye.
And once again, we'll introduce Alicia Hodge. Alicia is published poet, artist, and mother from the state of Oregon in the US, and she loves nature, animals, music, poetry, and art of all forms. Um, hello, Alicia.
Hello again. All right. Um, the next one I read is called, or will read, I'm sorry, is called Mindfulness. Mindfulness, what is this? What should I fill my mind with? I'd rather start with my heart, for without that the mind falls flat on its face, full of disgrace. for trying on its own to face the world, its darkness. My mind it races to put on all my different faces to get me through a world where masks are necessary for daily tasks. My mind says we must be these things. My heart says, oh, just let it be. You're much too full of yourself these days. You overthink and hide your face behind a mask designed for each to be what others want to see, to tiptoe around and shapeshift through in the form that will offend the least. Isn't it tiring, always conspiring? Wouldn't it be so easy to offer authenticity? My mind is full far too often, but paired with my heart, there is no stopping a life in heartfulness to give your mind a little rest and pass the balance test. And the next one I'll read is called War. What is even the point anymore in this mess of a game of chess? We sacrifice for those who hold their values less. Good people trying to protect their families and homes. Are their lives really worth the risk for those who pull the strings in twisted schemes at the cost of the soldiers who fight for our dreams? And this next one doesn't have a title. Sun all around, shining down, but still a dark cloud over my head. Rain falling from it could get me down, but instead, I'm smiling at the phenomenon falling on me, mix of rain and sun. I'm less than impressed at your attempts to best me with false signs of trouble ahead. I'll turn it into a rainbow instead. Watch the wind blow all of my worries aside, taking things in stride, slowly releasing the built up pressure inside to prevent an internal combustion explosion of my unhealed corrosion, and transmute it into beauty, something dark and light and newly created, updated, upgraded. Fuck your standards. This pain is raw beauty in the making. Um, and I think I'll just read one more. It's called What is the Difference Between a Bluebird and a Blue Jay? I saw today two blue jays at play. In a craze, they flew this way, that way, enjoying their day. A bluebird stopped to watch the jays. I thought I heard him say, good day to you, blue jays, as he fluffed his feathers in the sun rays. Come, bluebird, said one jay, come join us and play. Thank you, but nay, I heard the bluebird say. I more enjoy to sing my songs than play. But watching you two makes my day, inspire a song even, it may. Okay, said the jay, well then sing away. We'd love some music while we play, and a song to sing on other days. It made me think there are those, they say, who prefer observation over social play, but they don't miss out, as others say, for inspired are they to watch those at play and record their stories for another day. And I think that's all for me tonight. Thank you. And next up, we have Joe Mycutt. He is a published poet and author of the book Cosmic Poetry, From Darkness Comes Light. He writes from the perspective of a broken and mended mind. His approach is to find the light and dark in all things, and then the beauty in the balance of those energies. He pulls inspiration from his personal and daily experiences and hopes to connect with people from all walks of life by way of the source that connects every single one of us in existence. His poetry can range from abstract and based in the beautiful things of life to diving deep into the depths of darkness, finding pain and beauty there as well. Hi, Joe. I'm excited to
Hello.
hear what you have tonight, as always.
Thank you. Thank you. I may have a couple of interruptions. I got my little babies with me tonight, so we'll see how that goes.
Well,
In the
I'm going
mean,
to interrupt right now.
oh, I'm sorry. Hello.
I'm going to interrupt right now. I'm kind of
Sure.
disappointed. I didn't get a copy of your book slide to put up on here so everybody can see.
Yeah.
Go get your beautiful creation.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I know. you're going to need me to make a slide for that. And since I was on a almost 2 hour trip back from my little adventure with the babies today, I wasn't able to get that for you, but I'm going to get that for the next one.
Well, because with you were with your lovely nieces and nephews, I'll forgive you this time. But next time, if you want everybody to see where to go get it, you gotta send it to me, please.
Sure thing, absolutely. And that book you're referring to is called Cosmic Poetry From Darkness Comes Light, and it can be found on blurb.com. And that's what I'll be reading from tonight. So I'll go ahead and start my time now and jump right into it. This one is called Not Your Brother's Keeper. At the point in time that I was at my lowest, by my own decisions and choices, you did for me what you do for others, by showing me love and support while I was hearing voices. You rooted for me and made sure I could push through it. You told me I could do it. At times I came to you while I was secretly on my very last leg. You didn't ignore me or tell me to quit crying for attention. You helped see me through it. Life had muffled me to the point of suffocation like a weight on my chest. I gasped for air, but all I found was the false breath. I searched for oxygen there in what most know otherwise as crystal meth. You owed me nothing due to my own self-neglect, but you were there for me like you were there for all of them when my life was wrecked. Each time I came to you, I did so with false strength and pride. I'm doing just fine was my lie's disguise. I tried to earn my keep. I tried so hard not to be a leech or burden. I tried to keep it hidden how deeply I was hurting. It was obvious, though, physically and emotionally, you knew something was wrong as I darted around aimlessly and frantically. You didn't shut me out, but instead you stepped into the role of family, to support next to me while I saved me. You didn't let me go through it alone and put others before me, your family. You never once demanded that it stay hidden or swept under the rug for the sake of reputation, I suspect certainly. I came to you on my very last breath, welcoming the cold and dark bringer of death. You didn't forsake me or blame me while I picked myself up. I found a sense of family with you and a home when I was like a lost pup. You didn't push me away and get angry with me, calling my sickness a fraud. This would have most certainly pushed me into addiction deeper, leaving my willpower flawed. Wouldn't it have been wonderful if this were all true? It's all in fact a fairy tale, and the reality is much cheaper. The truth is, I did it all alone because according to you, you're not your brother's keeper. That was a poem that I wrote about my experience with addiction and where certain relationships came into play there while I pulled myself out of that darkness. So on to the next one. Let's see. This one's called Dead or Alive. Dead or alive is the question, to which the answer is dead or alive. Knowing which I truly am is something that to know I strive. Is this reality a duality in which I am both alive and dead? How could it be that I'm here writing this while my obituary has already been read? Maybe alive means dead and dead means alive. Oh, how deep does this really go? Oh, how deep down the rabbit hole must I dive? Could one be the other and the other be the one? Like a Dr. Seuss book of life written in horror disguised as fun? Are we really living if we just await death? And if we're already dead, then what do we make of this ever present breath? Next, this one's called Masked Monster. I'm sick and insanely interrupted, perturbed and disturbed, disrupted and corrupted. I'm gross, I'm bad and purely no good. Rotten and vile, I'm disgusting behind this smile. I'm a creature with not one admirable feature. I linger in existence with a sick and twisted sense. In all of these ways, this world is the same, but seems to be not from where I came. I have everything and nothing in common with this place. Behind all these many masks is a wretched and horrendous face. Checking out my time here. Got about 6 minutes left. All right. So coming up next, this poem is entitled Almost Forever. You said forever, but it turned out to be just until whenever. Unconditional is just what exists prior to the condition that says otherwise. It's temporary, dressed up in a permanence disguise. You said forever, but it turned out to be never. What will occur has already done so, making what is a result of what will be. You lied the moment you said you would never say goodbye, at least here physically. You said forever, and forever unconditionally, but it turns out the only person I ever needed to hear those words from was me. This is a short poem entitled A Wind-Blown Mind. A wind-blown mind, there's no other mental whirlwind of its kind. You can look for it frantically, but which way is up seems impossible to find. In these moments, a breath, one after the other, is the only spell to unbind and realign. You must push forward, and whatever you do not press rewind.
Wow, that was absolutely amazing,
Sure.
Joe.
And yeah, I'm going to finish with this one here.
Okay.
If I stay within my 15 minutes, it looks like I got 4 left.
Well, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see.
Yeah.
I
Well,
do.
I timed it at
Let it
9.
go. Let it go.
I
Do we're not really strict here, are we?
Well, no, I know we're not, but that's my choice to stay within the 15 minutes out of respect for the other people that like to go.
Well, it's
So I try to time myself, and since we started at 9:15, that's what I was working with. Do
okay.
you want me to read this one, or do you want to go ahead and call it on me?
No, I want you to read that one. I think there might be one more after that, though.
Okay. So this one's called Sustained Smile. If your smile isn't gone, have you yet then traversed the darkest depths of yourself? Gone to the places necessary for you to heal your traumas and let anger rest so that you may have the chance to live? If your smile is still there, have you gone as far as possible to do your part and rescue yourself and the collective of humanity of which you are a part of? If your smile still dresses your face, warming your image to those that behold you, have you really faced those things so unimaginable that they render smiles impossible? Is a smile authentic after the greatest descent into oneself and into that of reality beyond illusion? Or is a smile a residual reflex of the body lingering from times of fairy tales bygone? How can you smile and push love and light as if to promote amnesia of the memories of the terrifying truths you faced, if facing them you've truly done? Or have you come into the presence of these very horrors and preserved your smile for later use? Is it me, in fact, who went to these places, confronted these faces, and returned having left mine behind? That smile that once decorated my now unfamiliar face? And we'll just leave it with this one, a semi short one, and that should wrap my time up. This one's entitled Alone in the Crowd. In the jungles of solitude, I never felt alone. No, it wasn't until I surrounded myself by people that I sang the loneliest song. So many eyes to feel unseen by, so many ears to hear nothing more than my own heart's sigh, so many hands to feel untouched, so many arms and not a single embrace, left simply unclutched, so many mouths to be unspoken to while endlessly spoken about, so many people to feel so solitary, a place filled physically to the brim of me and all of them, yet empty as can be emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. I miss the company of no one, a place where no one can make you feel like no one. Not like here among the sea of humanity, the ocean named everyone. And that'll do it. Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you.
All right. I'm not sure if I should or not, but I'll go ahead and introduce Marie Moldovan. Um, I'm glad she's going after me so that I didn't have to follow such an incredible writer. As you will hear, her work is phenomenal, and I'm excited to see which of her works she'll share tonight. Marie is a published poet, author, and artist. Her digital art book, Puppet Cross, can be found on blurb.com. I highly recommend that you do get a copy of that. I personally own one. It is just visually striking. It's beautiful. Her artwork is as incredible as her literary work. And again, that can be found on blurb.com and Amazon. She is also an amazing mother and friend, as well as a Reiki master and a shaman. So we'll hand you the mic, Miss Marie Moldovan.
Thank you very much, Joe. That was a wonderful interjection. So, the poem that I chose to read today is Divide, and I might just point out that I have some pets, so they might want to read in the middle of my reading. So, if they do, please appreciate their literary voice as well. Thank you very much. Once again, the poem is called Divide. Born blue with lips a purple hue, my life was threatened by stress's toxic stew. My cord of nurture contaminated in fear's torture, twisted in nature, reverted to a hangman's rope of supernatural nightmare, threatened my life's expression true. My arrival marked with a grand battle of survival, I entered as a warrior in the natural. An intuitive wrought by near death's altering of world's first view, presenting a child walking in not one world but two. Born into a family with quite the history, ancestors hunted, enslaved, and exiled from country to country for not taking a knee. Ancestors subjected to mass genocide and murder at the command of a coin's flip religious decide. As sad decide, spiritual suicide. Been a child subjected to many societal horrors, forced to watch a society of peoples fight over corners and murder over shades and colors. Been a child subjected to discrimination. I have blood fully connected to the land upon which I stand, and blood fully bound to many foreign lands. I belong here, but nowhere at the same time. I'm a descendant of many tribes, been forced to watch many divides, causing acceptance by none. My face and tone a reminder of pain, a gift presented with generational trauma stain. My childhood pawned by disaster's game, marked by a cord, conditioned in disdain. Nearly kidnapped at 6, my childhood no dream, targeted by teachers hiding behind religious fame, teased by children for not being the same, forced to witness atrocities against my family, friends, and humanity. As a whole, by a desensitized culture trained to turn a blind eye, experience near death in multiplicity. No, not one time, but two and three. Raised in a state of menticide by a society spreading hate's pesticide, placing children on the shore's drowning line, forcing them to deny parts of family line, brainwashing them to choose a wave's side, causing them to dissociate with their own blood tide, settling and setting generations up for spiritual death ride. Growing up, I've been imposed by coercion, by some attempting to condition generation after generation, to be quiet in voice and avoid opinion, by others demanding I question. Coercion resulted in my rebellion, for I was damned if I did or didn't sin, by a world locked in trauma perception. Growing up, I've been caused to act only in a predetermined way, hide my true nature and deny gifts bestowed away. Subjected to blatant ignorance against the situation of my moral birthing, a situation destructively uprooting. A poor child, I've had to clock, my mother starve. I've had to watch my mother starve so that I could be fed. I've seen her work herself to the point of disintegration instead, so I may have a roof over my head, a pillow, blanket, and a bed. I've had to watch her starve so I could have a pillow, blanket, and a bed. Targeted, I was forced to watch my parents be harassed by gangs and people of authority while others judged with societal fangs. As a teen, I was forced to watch fellow humans be tortured, raped, beaten, desensitized, restricted, murdered, mentally collapsed, and pushed to suicide. A sad decide, spiritual suicide, by a society hiding from their own demonic tale. buttering their deeds up with religious fairy tale. I've watched my parents be pushed to a state of mental break and give in to the notion that you cannot beat the system, and trying to will result in a head on a stake, a state of historical impairment caused by menticide, a sad decide, spiritual suicide. As a teenager, as a teenager, just beginning my life, I was subjected to rape, had my life threatened, and was even left to die. I was left to die. To this day, I don't know why. Was it my fault? Some would like me to believe this true. Some would like me to believe this true. Cruelty is a terrible soup to brew. Cruelty is a terrible soup to brew. My childhood neglected freedom. It was energetically slaved with doom. I've been forced to watch criminals be rewarded as victims are imprisoned by their own kind, locked into a prison of the mind, locked into a prison of the mind, a prison with no locks or sign to find. Some would say my skin tone awarded me privilege. Ironically, my tone and color be the result of ancestral torture. It is said that the pains of spirit manifest as physical disease. As a child, I was projected to be a virus, technically a result of my family's pain and shame. The scapegoat of blame, lame, truly lame. If my childhood be more than a manifestation of their pain, and the energy imposed upon me a reflection of their torture in life's game, then what I experienced, so did they, the same. Why must we play this game? Why must we play this game? I've been profiled, stalked, manipulated, and pushed to the edge of insanity, made to look crazy because I refuse to accept this program blindly. If that is privilege, sharp edge, then the idea of the messed up clarity, those that claim I have it because of my tone, can seriously hold the phone. Hold that thought, on second thought. Rip that sucker out of the wall. Rip that sucker out of the wall and toss it in the garbage down the hall. Because it's seriously not a life anyone should be pushed to own. Seriously not a life anyone should be pushed to own. And that's my poem for this evening. Thank you very much. So, the next half of the open mic is us reading some poems that were submitted to a prompt that we put up. The first poet is Jow Horst. He was married on July 4th, 2019. He's the father of two sons, 8 years old, and he was conceived of ill advised multiplications of 15 and 21. He was raised by his grandparents, a fact that was greatly impacted his worldview, and he tends towards rough and raw, and he writes fast because he writes for survival, jet setting the emotions before they drown him. Zhao is an amazing poet, and I absolutely appreciate his reads, and I definitely see the pain. I see the fact that there's a lot of that he's writing for survival, and I'm one who encourages that because you want to get the emotions out on paper. Put them there fast, release them, transform them, and give them a new life through the write, but allow yourself to release them so that they're not pent up and pressure, not creating pressure on your personal and emotional being. Sometimes releasing through writing is very powerful. The poem Zhao submitted is untitled, and it's very short. Bite deep and don't forget to suck the marrow. I heard an angel tell a bird you'll never fly till you spent some time bone hollow.
Next up, we have Dana Cisclano de Rende. I hope I said that right. I'm sorry. Dana is a motivational speaker, metaphysical poet, and a student of life. Oh, I can't quite read the title because of the little live time feed blocking
That's
it.
okay.
Sorry
It's
about that.
titled The Dream.
Okay, the dream. She dreamed she could fly, just by her fast running, leap up from the grass, airborne into the sky where she belonged, flying strong into her fulfillment. She dreamed she could fly, almost. Her young legs and beating heart pumping hard and fast, she ran in the sunshine to lift off from the grass. She dreamed she could fly, almost. She dreamed she could fly. It was in her nature to lift herself high, to spread her wings, to soar high in the sky. She dreamed she could fly, almost. She dreamed she could fly if she ran just a tad faster. Her next leap forward would lift her airborne. She tried hard and ran fast, a marvel of effort, and felt herself lift away into the wind at last, almost. She kept on running. She spread her arms, the wind fulfilling her wings, flying, a mere leap away as her feet kept hitting the ground and gravity held sway. She dreamed she could fly, almost. The element needed and missing in her run to lift her up and away into the becoming of her day in the sun. Unbeknownst to her, her craving for the alchemy of body, grass, wind, and sun, plus the essential element needed, the light in your eye missing, when you looked upon her, not discerning her beauty and destiny, the grace in her run. So she ran into the fulfilling wind. She spread her wings, still tethered to the grass, and that was all. She dreamed she could fly, almost.
Wow, that is a truly beautiful poem. Very powerful. Um,
Yes, indeed.
All right, so I have the honor of reading for Miss Ruth Doyle. She lives in the UK with her family, whom has struggled with bipolar disorder. Ruth is a fantastic poet. Yes, that is true. And she has been published in several anthologies. Ruth and her sisters love to write poetry. Ruth also hopes to one day have her own book published, and I don't see any reason why she shouldn't or won't. And I look forward to that. So, the poem that I'm going to read for Ruth is titled Untitled currently, and it's by Ruth Doyle. I am but a lovely bird, and I like to fly. You will see me soaring in the sky. People say I'm a beauty to behold, so therefore this my story told. And when you find me on the tree, that's 'cause I'm happy as can be. So next time you see me, do not put on a show. Just come along and say hello. Wonderful poem. How fun to read. Thank you for that submission, Ruth.
yes, thank you for that submission, Ruth. It was beautiful. Our next poet that submitted to this week is Dr. Philip Bejani. Please excuse me um, if I mispronounce your name. I wanted to say Dilip Biani. So, Dr. Dilip Biani. That's my best attempt. Maybe you'll teach me how to say it properly one day, sir. And Dr. Dilip Bayani is a medical practitioner in the field of Indian alternative therapies and research. He loves writing poetry in English and Indian language Hindi. Through meditation, he predicts almost 80% accuracy, and he enjoys nature and someday wishes to leave the city and live in nature. And I hope that you one day get that wish to live in nature in the countryside. But even in within yourself, there is the capacity to reach nature at this point in time, wherever you are, through you, as you. And I believe you know that because you're a master of meditation, and I'm truly thankful for you submitting your poem. The poem is titled Untitled. Let me fly high and feel the sky, but I want my ear eye to be on the earth, my claws holding the branch and hang to and fro. Let me eat the fruits that grow on earth, my ambitions not too high, so that I can sleep and wake before the dusk and dawn. Build grains my essential, I search in the field, no jealousy, no envy, no hatred. I love the song wind plays. Let me fly high and feel the sky. That was beautiful. I would like to say thank you to everybody who submitted their poetry to the prompt to be read this evening. And I would like to thank everybody who joined us this evening: Max, Shelley, Stewart. Absolutely amazing poets. I really enjoyed your spoken word. And I look forward to maybe hearing you again, and hopefully we'll have some other individuals join us along the way, because our doors are open and we appreciate the beautiful presentations of, poetry in all forms. Um, so that brings us to the end of the show for this evening, and we hope you join us once again. Till then, do you have anything to say, Alicia and Joe, before we say goodbye?
No, I enjoyed everything thoroughly, and just good night, and I'll see you next time.
Till next time.
Yep, I enjoyed it very much too. Again,